The tiny house movement has been around since the 1970s, but didn't gain mainstream traction until the Great Recession in 2007, as tiny homes offered an affordable alternative to regular housing, usually being less than 1,000 square feet in size, sometimes far less. Hope Valley Resort, a self-described tiny home community, broke ground in 2015, offering a well-manicured, gated community for people from all walks of life. The homes range in size from 391 to 397 square feet and feature modern, full-size appliances and even air conditioning. Joy Camacho and her friends have lived in Hope Valley Resort for 3 to 4 years. Most of the community is 55 and over, and the majority of tiny home dwellers in this park are retirees.
So, when did you move here?
I've been here 3 Christmases, so it was about in September 3 years ago, and I wanted to sell my house and retire. So Kathy Best and I were on the search for places for me to move to.
4 years ago.
Okay, cool. So, what inspired you to move here?
We needed to downsize.
It's been a good transition. Kind of rough when you have a big house moving into a little one. Otherwise, it's been good to be here.
Describe the sense of community you have felt since you've moved here.
Well, one of the things is everybody, and they're not being nosy, they're being caring next door. And especially one of the incidents I can say is when we had the ice storm.
Right.
People came out and helping, checking on everybody and sharing, and people that had generators were sharing. We took a generator around through the park and gave everybody 3 hours of electricity to keep the refrigerator running, and somebody else would bring coffee and donuts around to everybody, and it was just unbelievable how everybody was. It is just a well-loved and well-feeling community.
There is a pretty good sense of community here. It actually seems to break down into almost 2 communities, but all of them interact.
The community has a number of activities, including a small gymnasium, a tennis court, a pool, and an emergency task force made up of community members.
What are some activities you've participated in here?
Well, I belong to the emergency responder team, and we do trial runs and things, and that's so in an emergency we have the equipment and stuff to take care of our little area, and so we have the phones that we talk to each other on, and we do that, and then we have community meetings once a month. With the coronavirus, it was kind of hard. We've had to have them outside, and if the weather wasn't good, we had to have them just by the computer, but things like that.
Cool.
Not really, except for the Citizens Emergency Response Team. I helped start that.
Oh, cool. Could you tell me a bit more about that and the process of starting that?
It's a FEMA program that is nationwide, and it trains people to be emergency responders in case of a disaster. Just in case the regular emergency responders like police and fire can't get here.
I saw your fairy garden. Are there different projects or things you've been working on or
I'm
started
always doing
here?
something like that.
Yeah.
My next thing is I'm making me a walking stick.
Ooh, nice.
I got a piece of old grapevine wood. It was the bottom part, the roots, and it's got spirals all the way down it. So I'm gonna make me a walking stick.
That's
Every
awesome.
time I go out in the back, I almost fall or do fall.
Oh no.
Good thing I got neighbors.
That's why it's a community, because we have neighbors that pick us up when we fall.
That's right.
So I've taken a couple of trips into the creek myself.
Oh.
The bank gives way and, ooh, here I
There's a lot of
go.
nutria out there.
What differentiates Hope Valley from the average neighborhood is the sense of living in a tight-knit community. The neighbors know one another quite well and look after one another on a regular basis. This was recently put to the test during this winter's ice storm. The community wasn't completely unscathed. 90 trees were killed. Of course, it's been a hard year. COVID-19 has affected this community like all others, but the response to it has been rather exceptional.
How would you say the COVID-19 pandemic has changed things here overall? Like, what new procedures have been undergone here?
Well, everybody was not really enthused about wearing masks to start. And so we had to kind of segregate ourselves into who was masked and who wasn't. So we didn't want to get too close to the ones that weren't. But right now, everybody here has had a coronavirus vaccine.
Oh, wow.
And so now we will walk around here without the mask. But if we get more in a community together, we put our mask on just to be safe. But walking around and visiting people and stuff, right now we're doing away with the mask. But there for a while it was pretty rough because some didn't want to put on masks, and so it was kind of like, well, you stay over in your section, we'll stay in ours, you know.
Yeah.
But now everybody's had the vaccine, so we're doing good.
As far as being around here, nothing much has changed. I mean, people wear masks outdoors and that's about it. It's just that nobody that isn't working has really been going outside very much.
Right, right. How did the ice storm affect you overall, and how long did you lose power for?
We lost power for 7 days.
Wow.
And I had a tree fall on my house. Didn't do any damage on mine, but over there, he still hasn't gotten his fixed. And then one fell over on top of her house, and about 5 other houses in here had extensive damage. But I was lucky. I actually watched that tree in slow motion fall on. I wanted to run out and hold it. No, don't fall on my house. But it did. It just went boom. But we lost about 6 or 7 in the backyard of big trees, and so it's getting used to. But it's still pretty. I still like it.
While tiny homes have worked for these people, it hasn't been without its drawbacks, mainly the necessity to downsize. That is, to pare down your possessions to fit into your new tiny home.
Okay, so this is what we call the tiny house, and it's 400 square feet. I sold my other house, which was 3,800 square feet, so it was quite a drop from 3,800 to 400. But you find out you have little places to put everything. So this is the living room / kitchen. Have dishwasher, refrigerator. Then we have the bathroom, which is a full-size shower and bathroom. And then we have washer and dryer. And the bedroom. And you can come this way if you want to squeeze through. I guess both cats are under the cover now.
Oh, okay. No worries.
And this is the back porch, which comes with the house, attached to the house. That's the backyard out there, and then the shed comes with the house too.
There are several designs. They used to have 7 designs that they had 7 designs they sold when we bought here. By the time Joy was buying, how many did they have left?
3.
3. Now I think they only have 1 or 2 at the most.
Yeah. That's, I told them we could go tour the empty ones up front.
Yeah,
And they could see the different designs that are up there.
good idea.
Are there any struggles you've had with moving into the tiny houses?
What do you mean by struggles?
Oh, just like adjustments.
Well,
or
yeah,
like,
it's quite a big adjustment to get rid of everything you own and have
Yeah.
nothing. Because not everything, even I was told when I came here that I would have to, that my queen size bed would fit. And it did not. So then it was, okay, get rid of the queen size bed and go to a double bed to get in here. So, and it takes you about 3 years, I think, because everybody always brings too much and they stuff it all in their shed. and it takes you about 3 years to go through it and start weeding out what you really don't need, you know, which most people don't really need as much as we put in our homes. But you have to get down pretty much to the basics, pretty much.
Okay, great, thank you.
Tiny house living isn't a universal solve for today's housing problems, but for a small community in Turner, Oregon, Hope Valley has been a solution that has allowed them not only to survive, but to thrive in a small, friendly community. The only thing they had to give up was the size of their home.